What's up, the squad? Back with another video. As y'all see in the title, what's going down? As y'all know, a lot of people, when I say a lot of people are outraged at the simple fact of, when it comes down to the left. Not only to the left, about the left, and people, of the left, but you have Barack Obama. And I'm not even going to lie. It's something that's not surprising. When it comes, coming from him, he put out a post, as y'all can see right here, and says, we don't know yet what motivated the person who, shot and unalived Charlie Kirk. But this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife, Erica, and his 2 young children. Let me explain something to y'all. They know, as well as we know, what motivated, this person to do this. Even before then, he put this out, even before then, what bothers me, and still after everything that has came out, when it comes to the evidence, when it comes to people to, speaking out, about Tyler Robinson, when I tell y'all that there are still people on the left that's saying they don't know, what motivated him to do this. What it's still stuff out, and it's pretty crazy to me, and it's pretty wild because we all know, we obviously all see it, what it is, where he comes from, what his thought process obviously was just based off of what he put on the bullet casings, his partner. When it comes to the neighbors, y'all know I put out a video yesterday about, vehicles showing up, out of town plates, everything. So it's pretty wild. This right here, obviously, I know many of y'all saw, I know some of y'all haven't, but Barack Obama, was on a sit down and talked about, Charlie Kirk, obviously, and blaming Obama administration, and basically compared his White House and Trump's White House, in this video. Check it out.
We have to recognize that on both sides, undoubtedly there are people who are extremists and who say things that are contrary to what I believe are America's core values. But I will say that those extreme views were not in my White House. I wasn't embracing them. I wasn't empowering them. I wasn't putting the weight of the United States government behind extremist views. And that is when we have the weight of the United States government behind extremist views, we've got a problem.
So obviously people are literally outraged about this. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people are saying different things. A lot of people are saying the same things when it comes down to it. One thing about it is that they continue to lie. They continue to point the finger, of course, instead of blaming self, taking accountability for self. They never take that time out. And it's like, okay, yeah, these things we need to, put pressure on so these things can stop happening. No, they don't do that. They point the finger and they let it continue, to happen. And it's pretty wild. Listen to more. I wanted to show this video in particular because I had something to say about this. Check
Obviously, I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I was generally aware of some of his ideas. I think those ideas were wrong. But that doesn't negate the fact that what happened was a tragedy and that I mourn for him and his family. He's a young man with 2 small children and a wife who obviously, and a huge number of friends and supporters who cared about him. And so we have to extend grace to people during their period of mourning and shock. We can also, at the same time, say that I disagree with the idea that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. That's not.
And let me explain something to y'all. This is where it goes wrong with this, and why I wanted to put this video in here. This is not the only time I've heard of this. This isn't the only time I've heard of this. Meaning, there are other people that put this out to be something that it's not. And Obama knows this. This is one of those things that, you know, I continue to talk about. You know, when you have these people like Barack Obama, or you have these people, you know, these influencers, or, you know, people that's in Congress, and they know the true facts about it. They've obviously watched the whole video. They know that. I'm letting y'all know right now, they know that. They've seen that whole video of Charlie Kirk. Now, there's people that haven't seen, you know, that whole video when it comes to Charlie Kirk. There's people that just watch a clip, you know, of something. There's some people that watch the whole video and don't get, you know, take the context out of it. But, and I'm going to show y'all something too. But people would take something and watch a 5, 10 second, 15 second video and take it way out of context and make it on to be, okay, yeah, Charlie's the bad guy for saying this, knowing that's not what he meant or said when it's like this. But then you have people like Barack Obama that get on stage and say this to get people hyped up. You know, and y'all catch it with what I'm saying, and that's not the right way, you know, to do that. And they know that. That's the thing. They know that. It's sad.
That's not me.
And I'm letting everybody know right now that's watching this video. Charlie Kirk did not mean what Obama is saying right now.
Sizing the issue, it's making an observation about who are we as a country. I can say that I disagree with the suggestion that my wife or Justice Jackson does not have adequate brain processing power. I can say that I disagree that Martin Luther King was awful. I can disagree with some of the broader suggestions of that liberals and Democrats are promoting a conspiracy to displace whites and replace them by ushering in illegal immigrants. Those are all topics that we have to be able to discuss honestly and forthrightly, while we still insist that in that process of debate, we respect other people's right to say things that we profoundly disagree with. That's
you know, all my years listening to Barack Obama and hearing him talk, I feel like this is one of the first times that I can definitely say that this dude ignorant as hell, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I know I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate. You know, I always do on my channel, but I don't really care, bro. Like, dude is for real, like, ignorant as hell, bro. Just basically, like, of what he's saying, the lies that he putting on, like, and I'm explaining to y'all, and I'm gonna show y'all why. This is why right here. This right here goes to show y'all that they do nothing but spread lies, bro. Do nothing but spread lies, and I really get tired of it. Check it out right here.
If you had the opportunity, you would get rid of the Civil Rights Act?
No, I think you should have a one-page bill that says that racial discrimination based on race is illegal and will not be tolerated in the United States of America. Most black Americans don't support is men and female sports. Would you agree?
Hell no.
Yeah, I know. No, for sure, right?
See? People don't want that, right? People don't want that.
Believe it or not, the Civil Rights Act is now being used to keep men playing in women's sports. So the Civil Rights Act was used to help black America originally. Totally get that. But now the way it was written is that any claim of identification.
Hold on, let me go back so people can understand what he said right here.
originally. Totally get that.
Totally get that. Originally, totally get that. Let me play it back again.
So so the Civil Rights Act was used to help Black America originally. Totally get that. But now the way it was written is that any claim of identification, so someone says I'm a woman, therefore I can compete in your volleyball team, they come in with a civil rights claim. And so what we're saying is no, it should be specified to racial, not gender, all that other stuff. And there were all these other provisions as well.
Now do you get it? He was not trying to say that blacks should lose their rights and equal protections under the law. He was saying that the LGBTQIA plus and counting community, there's 72 genders in counting. He was saying that those individuals should not have special rights. We should have equal rights under the law, but not special rights.
Exactly. And when it goes, you have people that literally take everything out of context and try to make him look like the bad person. Charlie Kirk is not the bad person. He laid out facts that people didn't like. And didn't want to hear the truth about. And they keep on continue and saying, oh, he's this person, he's the R word, and he's this, he's that. Man, cut it out, bro. Cut it out. I'm telling y'all. Y'all go. I'm gonna get people to understand. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna get people to understand. Check out JD Vance on what Barack Obama said. When it comes to for saying the White House is exploiting. Charlie, check it out.
Barack Obama says your White House is dividing the country and you're exploiting Kirk's death to attack Democrats.
We're not exploiting Charlie Kirk's death to do anything except for achieve justice. And I think if Barack Obama, I haven't seen that comment, Jesse, but if he said that, that's absolutely disgusting. What we're trying to do is understand how young people are getting radicalized and who is funding all of these efforts at radicalization. We saw this in the summer of 2020. Now, thank God that wasn't primarily, actually over 20 people died in the riots in the summer of 2020. That is political terrorism. But it's not just the people who were cops. It's not just the people who were engaging and throwing the Molotov cocktails and in the riots. Where was the money coming from? Who was organizing this violent activity? That is not going after Democrats unless, by implication, you're saying every single Democrat is involved in planning political violence. If that's true, then the problem isn't on Barack Obama's side. We're going to get to the bottom of the truth, and we're going to stop the political violence. And we're going to do it however we have to do it, of course, within the constitutional limits that Charlie loves so much.
Come on now. I'm telling y'all, one thing about it is that you have amazing people that's going to lay it down and let it be known what it is. I'm telling y'all, and I absolutely love it. I'm here for it, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I absolutely love it. This, in particular, this woman right here, I can't, what is it? I am LaPacia. I don't really know how to, pronounce her name, but y'all can find her on TikTok. This, I seen a little clip of this video, and I want to share with y'all because, we have some similarities. When it, came down to, and she explained, in the start of the video that her parents, I'm gonna let y'all, obviously, I'm gonna play the video, but, I came from, a family of Democrats. I've got to witness, and cheer, 2008, Obama, get in the White House and stuff like that. And, my parents cheered, my family, is full of Democrats. My grandmother was literally wearing a Michelle Obama and Obama shirt literally like a day or two ago, pretty crazy, right? But, I literally, I come from that, I come from and my thing is I came out of it. I came out of it because I started to notice different things. I started to notice different things, and it threw me off a lot. It threw me off a lot as I got in these videos a few years ago. And I was like, dang, bro, like, why didn't I notice? But then I wasn't into it, and now that I am, I feel amazing, and that I can spread, the knowledge, to other people, to the younger generation. I feel like it's definitely amazing to do, even my family members. So I feel like it's definitely what's up. But check this out.
I first started listening to Charlie in 2016. I started listening to him because I was on a search. I was looking at things around me and I knew that something was off. I knew that something wasn't right. So I grew up in a Democrat household. I remember when Obama became the first black president. And yeah, the first black president. But anyways, when that happened, I was at home and we was watching it on TV. And I remember like when we found out that he won, everybody in the house started clapping and like cheering. My mom, like, she even got emotional, and I never thought my mom really cared about politics at all. So as I'm clapping right along with my family, I've always been this kind of person. I've always been the kind of person who I don't say much, but I observe more than I say. So I pay attention to things. So in that exact moment, as I'm clapping and cheering with my family, I immediately stop because I'm looking around and I'm like, why? I asked a lot of questions. I turned to my mom and I asked her, I said, Mama, why are we happy? Like, why are we cheering? And my mama said that Democrats have always been the party for black people. So I remember, like, I took note of that. But in my mind, I was thinking, well, it doesn't seem like they've helped us much. Because I've seen a lot of patterns in my own family growing up. And not just in my own family, but in the black community as a whole. I pay attention. And I see patterns that are not getting better, but are actually getting worse under the Democrat Party. Mm-hmm. So I took note of that, even though at this time I was in 11th grade and I didn't know nothing about politics. Fast forward to 2016 and Trump was running for president. There was so much negativity coming out of the mouth of people that I was familiar with that I was shocked. I didn't understand what was going on because, I grew up hearing nothing but good things about Trump. I mean, we saw him in the music videos, the black music videos and everything. So I was confused as to why now are we being told to dislike this man? Why now are we being told that this man is a racist? The same man who was appearing in y'all music videos? The same man that y'all spoke so highly of? Something is not right. I started asking questions. And so because I wanted understanding, I went on a search. And that is how I came across Charlie Kirk. And it was through Charlie Kirk's content that I started watching Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, and Terrence Williams. So through Charlie Kirk's content, I started listening to 3 other voices. All 3 of them were black. And all 3 of them were close with Charlie Kirk. And that is how I started listening to their content as well. But I have not once heard Charlie Kirk say anything racist.
Come on now.
Everything he said was spot on. Like, I can tell you that as a black person who's been black all my life. And I can tell you one thing for sure. What he was saying was straight up facts. It's just a lot of us don't want to hear it. And that's where the problem comes in. Because we want to be stuck in this slave victim mentality. And it is so sickening. Aren't y'all tired? You ain't never been a slave a day in your life. Your ancestors wish they had the type of freedom that you have. And you sitting around here moping and complaining, telling me somebody got you oppressed. You don't even know what being oppressed means. Exactly. And you need to get over yourself.
That's real talk, though. I ain't even gonna lie. I feel like so many people think the same way. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like so many people think the same way. And that's why I wanted to put. When I seen that video, I was like, dang, that's wild. I really don't even have to say nothing. I have to say nothing because that's literally how I feel. I feel like there's a lot of people that's starting to, understand that. But I also feel like there's a lot of people that need to know that. I need to realize, what's real. You know what I mean? What's real? What's really, important. You have so many people that are looking at the simple fact of they want to feel so they want to play this victim card. They want to play this victim card to where, oh yeah, well, I'm black, so you need to I'm this way. You need to feel sorry. Like, no, that ain't it. That's not it. People need to actually wake up, realize what's going on. Especially everybody, they looking at the simple fact, and I feel like it's very, very important, especially now. For this younger generation. You see this younger generation. I see so many videos of people that's mocking Charlie's death and saying different things, and first of all, a lot of people don't even know of Charlie. I literally have a little brother. Y'all know I brought this up before, and I had a conversation with him because he said something about him. He was like, all I know is I seen a couple clips of him, and I said, exactly, bro. Like, y'all are seeing little clips of him, of people taking things out of context and making him seem to be a bad person, and y'all not watching the full thing of what he was saying. And that's what gets on my nerves. It literally gets on my nerves. You can sit there and listen to a whole rap video of this, that, and the other, but then you can't sit there and watch a whole video of something that actually matters. That's crazy to me, and I don't understand that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.